Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs, home of the Stripology Ruler. To make sure you don't miss my weekly quilting tips, make sure you are subscribed to our channel. For this tip of the day this week, we are going to be talking about a phenomenon called a victory lap, or sometimes a stay stitch. So what has been, for fun, referred to as a victory lap is a stitch that we stitch around the whole edge of our quilt top after our quilt top is finished to secure all of the seams that come out to the edges. This is especially important if you're sending your quilt to a long arm quilter. This ensures that none of those seams that come out to the edge are going to pop open and cause a little gap wherever on your edge that these seams pop open. So what you want to make sure is I sometimes increase my stitch length just a little bit, so maybe to a 3, and I stitch about 1/8 of an inch in from the edge all the way around. It's a fun term because once you have your quilt top finished, you celebrate with that victory lap. Now, this is especially important if you are working on a quilt like this one in particular, because these edges are bias edges. As you can see, the strips are cut at an angle. So what I want to do, as soon as I have my blocks done, I make sure I stitch all the way around the edge to secure that these edges are not going to get stretched any further or any at all. And that way, it doesn't matter if I'm sending this to a long arm quilter or if I'm just setting it in my pile to quilt it myself. This is going to secure those edges and the borders around the quilt until I'm ready to quilt it, and no stretching is going to occur or popping seams. Now, if you have a border on your quilt, it's not always necessary to go around the whole quilt, but what I definitely do is find out where those borders would have seams, and I would just stitch over those seams to make sure they don't pop open. Now, what if you're not working with a whole quilt top? Sometimes I like to do that stay stitch, which I wouldn't then refer to it as a victory lap. But what if you're working on a project that is going to take some time? You're working on block of the month programs, or in this case, this is a temperature quilt. Sometimes I like to do a stay stitch just 1/8 of an inch from each side here, for example, to make sure that all my seams are going to stay secure, especially if I'm handling the blocks a lot. It really makes a difference for next time when you get to your project or when it's time to put it all together. You won't have any popped seams that you're going to need to finish.